Hey everyone, Luke here, and as you can see, no poster. Yep, that's right. Dr. Stone reviews weekly, they are officially over now because we're in the post Dr. Stone era. Never thought we'd be here this soon, guys. I thought we'd be here in about a year time, or maybe a year and a half time, but it's something that you're just going to have to, it's just something that we're going to have to get used to. Now, of course, like I said before, I'm going to be doing the back catalogue on Dr. Stone. Obviously, I'll talk about the reboot of Dr. Stone, the reboot Byakuya, when we get caught with that, and also Series 3, and then character analysis, arc discussions, like kind of like what Sean OG will probably be doing with Dr. Stone. Because he mentioned that in one of his videos, and yeah, I'm probably going to do the same thing myself as well. So yeah, we're probably gonna we're gonna be doing that because we're both mega fans of Doctor Stone. We both love it, so why not do it now? As for the series that is replacing Doctor Stone on a weekly basis, you all know it, I know it. Mission Yozakura family. Not going to be around the bush with it, not going to fake you guys out by saying like, oh, it's Mashal or Akane Banishi, although I would like to talk about Akane at some point on a review, because I love that series as well, and given that it involves around acting, it's something I can give an insight into, given that I'm an actor myself. So, yeah. That's something I would love to do, although because it's in its early stages, bit unsure if it's going to survive or not, so fingers crossed it does, knock on wood. And hey, who knows, maybe when Mission Yozakura family ends, if Akane's still going, that'll probably be a series I'll be looking at as well. But for now, I've made this intro go on for way too longer to get to the point of let's talk about the review. So yeah. Let's start talking about Mission Yozakura family. Let's enter the new era with the new title sequence. Hope you guys like that short but sweet title sequence. It's not as long as the Dr. Stone one because that was 9 seconds long. This was 4 seconds long. It was just a quick like, bam, here we are, the review. So yeah, we can finally get into it. So yeah, this will be chapter 122 of Mission Yozakura family. It's kind of funny that a few months ago I was doing chapters 100 and 100B, and now, only half a year later, we're doing 122. It's kind of strange of that, but yeah, it's titled Search for Our Big Brother. So yeah, basically we're in a new arc of Mission Yozakura family. For those of you who need a recap, Koricho, arguably the most powerful of the Yozakura siblings and one of the more prominent of them, has disappeared, vanished without a trace in the last few chapters. So now they're banging on like, okay, now we know what our mission is. We need to go and search for him, find out what's going on with him. If he's gone with the heads after he defeated them to meet up with his father, or if he's gone to meet up with Tsubumi, who's pretty much established as the main antagonist of the series at this point. So yeah, that's the mystery at the moment, like what happened to Koricho. So whether or not this arc is going to go on for a month, for 3 months or 6 months, that remains to be seen, because the arcs in Mission Yozakura family, they tend to be longer than Dr. Stone arcs, because Dr. Stone arcs are relatively short arcs with the exception of Treasure Island. So this arc could go on for as long as it wanted to. But yeah, let's talk about the chapter itself. It starts off with probably one of the best colour pages in the series. Now, the thing you gotta know about Mission Yozakura family, it has a lot of colour pages. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if like in 4 weeks we get another colour page. So it seems like they really want to push this series and really want it to do well, because after Dr. Stone they only have like Jujutsu Kaisen, Mashal, My Hero, and those series are probably going to be ending within the next 2 years. So they'll probably want Mission Yozakura, maybe Witch Watch, and quite possibly Ayaka's triangle, and maybe Duran and possibly Akane to succeed and survive and be the next pillars of Shonen Jump, which they desperately need because One Piece, after Wano, it's going to be on its final arc as well. Well, not its final arc, its final saga. But yeah, One Piece is coming to an end as well, so they need some new blood to kind of like fill the void for people and think like, oh yeah, we're going to lose our bread and butter. We need to get into it. We need to get some new blood. Mission Yozakura, I feel like could be the perfect one because this series I could see it very well going on easily for another 3 years. So like another 150 chapters, round it up to 300, 270 to 300 chapters. I'd be perfectly fine with that. It gives me 3 years to talk about Mission Yozakura family. And I really hope that is. I really hope I can break the 100 chapter mark because with Promised Neverland and Dr. Stone, couldn't break that 100 chapter mark. Dr. Stone came very close, but couldn't exactly break that 100 chapter mark where I talk about the series for 100 weeks. So fingers crossed for Mission Yozakura family. But yeah, getting into the chapter properly, we start off in Koricho's room, which, if you know anything about Koricho, he loves his sister Mutsumi in that way. Think of him as sort of like Gouge from Black Clover mixed with Illumi from Hunter x Hunter. Put them together, you get Koricho. Yeah, he's that kind of character. But anyway, we start with Mutsumi in his room, and she's saying there aren't any clues in his room, but he's left a number of assignments unfinished. He's such a guy. He's a guy with a strong sense of duty. He would never abandon his work. So this led me and Parajams to believe that Koricho didn't anticipate what was going to happen to him, but he might have deliberately left these as sort of like a test for Tayo, as we'll see when we get into the end of the chapter, because we had a debate in the stream about where we could actually go from here. Maybe these missions are sort of like a test for Tayo to sort of like think like, maybe he can be the one to come and save me. Mutsumi continues by saying that he didn't foresee this situation turning out this way. So yeah, pretty much what we said. Although, like I said, it might be that he probably did at least have it in the back of his mind that this might have happened. So he probably deliberately left these missions abandoned so that other members could pick them up. Maybe that's a theory that we could go with here. But anyway, she says we've got to continue gathering data for now. And and she's asking Futaba how is everything going on her end. And Futaba's like, yeah, it's not really going good at this point. I've been reaching out to everyone who may have a grudge against him. And yeah, we're just like there, like, Futaba, do you even know your brother? Like, that is going to take forever, considering that everybody that comes in contact with him probably has a grudge against him or something. But anyway, this is what I love most about this chapter, is the fact that we get more flashbacks to Koricho as a child, showing that we kind of need to like give him some redeeming qualities here, because up until this point he's been kind of a smug dickhead, smug prick kind of guy. But with these flashbacks and the chapters that came earlier on in the previous months, where it was just family slice of life chapters focusing on Koricho and the other members of the Yozakura siblings, and then building up their relationships, which, by the way, the fact that we got those chapters makes this moment and what's happening now that much more impactful, because if we didn't get them, we'll probably be like, oh yeah, they're a family, of course they're going to sit together. But no, those chapters showed how much they cared about each other, even if they don't want to admit it themselves. But anyway, moving into Futaba's flashback, we have her and Koricho working together to beat up people who probably had a grudge against Koricho when he was younger. As he says, "You're beating the crap out of them barehanded. You're like a gorilla." And Futaba's like, "Oh, you're looking for a fight?" Yeah. If Koricho had said that to Kohaku in Dr. Stone, I doubt he would be standing after that. But anyway, Koichiro says, "I bet you can solve everything using brute force Futaba." And Futaba's like, "Yeah, I'm going to find you using my brute force." Yeah, not everything can be solved with brute force, Koichiro. Even the people that use brute force sometimes not a lot of not a lot of things can be solved with just brute force. But anyway, moving on, we cut over to Shinzo in his armory, or in the Yozakura family armory, as he's saying he should use this opportunity to quality check the store warehouse just in case they have to mobilize. And oh, Koichiro's there. Okay, grab all the weapons we can. We've got to mobilize out because it's Operation Rescue him. As we cut to his flashback, where we have Shinzo teaching Koichiro how to use firearms, but also to use it with his spider web ability. And he says like, "Oh, you're holding it wrong. Your steel spider will touch the ground if you do it like this." And Koichiro's like, "Oh, that's so awesome, Shinzo. You really are a weapons expert. But more importantly, your kindness and willingness to teach each other is your greatest weapon of all." And Shinzo's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to move anytime, big brother." So I like that. I like that flashback between Shinzo and Koichiro because it's Shinzo, the younger brother, actually teaching the older brother, like, "No, this is how you do it." Like showing, like, yeah, even the younger members of the family can actually teach the older members of the family something, or get them into using a technique that they didn't even consider. So yeah. Really like that, because that's a very realistic situation. Speaking from experience myself, considering I've got siblings myself, and we help out each other in various ways, left, right, and centre, all the time. Although they help me more than I help them, but I do help them on occasion when they do actually need help, even if they don't want to admit it. Like. Would kind of like some of the Yozakura family members, like they'll probably need help even if they don't want to admit it. We go over to Shion doing her analysis, her technical analysis, as she says, surveillance cameras, radars, he's not being picked up anywhere. His transmitters and receivers are all on live too. It's a kind of like a video game on impossible mode. Yeah, try saying that to Andy in Undead Unluck, considering he's supposed to be on hard mode, yet he's been steamrolling for everything. But anyway, this raises a few questions like, where exactly has he gone? If he's like off the radar so much that even Shion can't pick him up, like, has he gone like has he gone to like a deep underground facility, or has he gone like off to another area of the world, or off to another area of Japan? Like, are we gonna get like the worldwide spies, which is what I've been anticipating for a while. But anyway, we get Shion's flashback where we see her and Koichiro playing video games, and he's questioning like, "Oh, why are you even attacking me when I'm on the side? I've died 20 times now." And Shion says, "Oh, it's because of this glitch where if I kill you this many times, I get a special reward, but also because I find you irritating all the time, and your strategy." And Koichiro praises her by saying, "Your strategies with video game hacking and everything else, no one can hold a candle to you. You're a real computer genius, but in the game we call reality, you can't strategize that easily." And this is where Shion's like, "Okay, you can just shut up and die now." And she's like, and basically her response in the present day is like, "Oh, the strategies can't be strategized that easily in reality, Koichiro. Okay, bring it on, big guy." That's basically what she says, even though she says this crappy video game called reality has got me ready to go. But in reality, she's saying like, "Yeah, let's put this to the test, so I'm ready to bring it on and see if these strategies aren't going to be as easy to produce as in a video game." Which, by the way, let's be honest, yeah, that is true, because unlike video games where you can kind of predict things, in real life you can't really predict what's going to happen half the time, but you can at least still try. And Shion's probably going to be that person who's going to be like, "Yeah, I'm going to figure it out, even if it's going to be unpredictable, in your words, Koichiro." We cut over to Kengo, who's trying to get into basically being Koichiro, because the thing with Kengo is that he's the spy that's like, "Oh, I'm the master of disguise here, I can replicate anyone." And he's trying to get into Koichiro's mind here, as he says, "Hey Mutsumi, I love you," but he's like, no, that's not right at all. And yeah, even he putting himself in Creature's shoes is making him physically sick to the point of basically wanting to vomit, and that is bad when even Kengo, who's a guy who's not ashamed about who he is, will walk around naked anywhere he wants to the point where everyone's saying like, you got to put clothes on, man. Saying that for someone like that to be physically disgusted by you, yeah, you really need to change yourself. But anyway, he goes on to say like, okay, let's take out the Musumi part and think like, I'm Koichiro. My favorite color is black. My hobby is playing the piano, and this is where we get his flashback with Koichiro by Koichiro saying like, "Hey, analyze me. What am I thinking? What am I thinking right now?" And he's like, "You're thinking of Mutsumi." And no, go down deep into that Mutsumi. So yeah, and everything that Keigo says is true because Koichiro thinks about Mutsumi all the time, so it's kind of easy to predict there. But anyway, they go on to say, I don't know what you're thinking about, Koichiro. You're way harder to read than any of the others. And it's like, that's because I am very mysterious. I am very mysterious. Well, yeah, gotta give Koichiro that. He is pretty mysterious because out of all the Yozakuras, even though we've known him the longest, we don't seem to get much of an insight into him, like what he's thinking deep down most of the time. Like we've had the chapters where he's bonded with the siblings, but we've not gotten, and we've got the chapters where we kind of discover why he had to be the way he is. But like in the present day, we don't really get to know him all that much because he keeps mostly to himself a lot of the times, even though he likes to give out information to people. And he says that if you keep practicing, perhaps one day you may come to understand me. And I feel like that's kind of like, okay, you guys don't get why I'm like this, so try practicing being me and maybe you'll understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, for some people that's never going to happen, Koichiro. But Keigo is probably one that can probably get through to that. As we cut over to Nanano, who's extracting some of the data from the samples that they got from Koichiro and put it into Shio's old Manhunter, and hopefully that will help to locate them. As we cut to a flashback where they're having a parents' day, where Koichiro is the guardian and the teacher, because I think a lot of people forget, like, oh yeah, Koichiro, he is a teacher at the school that they go to, and yeah, and no thinks of it as like, oh, you're just wanting to be in control all the time, Koichiro, which yeah, sometimes he wants to be in control of the situation, especially when it revolves around his family and particularly Mutsumi. But it's kind of funny that we haven't had any chapters recently of Koichiro going after Tayo. Like he's come to like pretty much accept Tayo at this point. Even if it's going to take him a little bit longer to like be like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to attack you anymore, Tayo. I'm still going to attack you, but okay, I guess we can keep you around the house. But it's amazing how that's not happened recently. But yeah, Koichiro asks Nano like, oh, what do you want to do after graduation? And Nano's like, I want to go up and pick up a part of the family business. And he's like, nah, you're not going to do that, bro. And Nano's like, oh, why aren't you like it's a decision? But Koichiro gives him some sound advice here of like, find your own academic interests and follow it through. That's what will be best for the Yozakura family, and more importantly yourself, which I like that about it. Like he's like, Koichiro's not the kind of guy who's like, you're going to be part of the family and you're going to do things our way, no question about it. Like you're going to learn this particular technique and you're going to learn this particular skill. No, he's kind of like, if you can learn your own skills and find your own path, then it will benefit us all, because they all have their individual skills that benefit the Yozakura family in one way or another. And I doubt they would have been as effective if they were all just like, yeah, we're just going to follow like say the Kengo style, where we're all just going to be disguised spies or something like that. But yeah, Nano says, oh, you need to watch me on the road I've chosen, big brother, before we come over to Tayo staring down this huge building, which is later revealed to be the headquarters of the Spy Association. and he said, and he thinks to himself by saying, the only thing I can do is, before we get his flashback with Creature, where he says, Futaba was drunk and interrupted us earlier, but I need to tell you something before we infiltrate Skeleton Island. If something should happen to me, so he's kind of like, he was kind of like in the past preparing Tayo, like, okay, in the worst case scenario, if something happens to me when we rest Kawashita and the Yozakura family is in a state of emergency, take these rice crackers, okay, and go to the Spy Association and basically go and talk to the president and say Kiricho has bought senpai for you. And it's referenced here that the main headquarters is where the exams are conducted and where Kiyoshita's will be locked up. But of course, Kiyoshita's not in the series anymore because he's pretty much been faded away and died at this point. So yeah, we have Tayo going to the Spy Association. Now, we all had theories in the stream about what this could actually mean, and even David on Control Chaos actually brought up the possibility of this happening when he did his Twitch stream earlier on in the week. So yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get into that at the end of the chapter of what we think the theory is actually going to be. But for now, we haven't getting verification of yeah, you're a spy. Yeah, you can go up and see the president. It's on the top floor, which of course it's floor 100. And he says, I don't have my own special skill like everyone else, and that's exactly why it's the only thing I can do right now. Before we see him walking past the giant, and the giant's like, oh, if you're looking for the president's office, it's through this door. And come on, Tayo, you're in an area full of spies. You should be suspicious about everyone. And the giant said, "Oh, I'll call the president for you right now. One moment, please." Before it's revealed that the giant is actually the president, and they mentioned for Kiricho's little brother, you're pretty dense, aren't you? As their name is revealed as Kai Isumu. So yeah, and I like the fact that they have a scar similar to Tayo as well. So yeah, that's where the chapter ends. So not really much happened in this chapter. It was just more flashbacks of people of the Yozakuras giving their perspective of Kiricho and what he means to them, as well as what they mean to him. Now, in terms of what this actually means, like Tayo actually meeting with the president, it's either one of two things are going to go. It's either the president's going to be like, okay, I know exactly where he is, but it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get there. So you're going to need a little bit of training to actually get into this facility area where he is. Or the more prevalent theory is that this is Tayo's introduction into taking the gold exam. Now, I'm not really a fan of that theory. I feel like it's too early for Tayo to go gold. Like, I feel like Shion and a few others like deserve gold more than Tayo. I'll throw in there, and Ayaki, the family maid, she deserves gold more than Tayo because she's been a spy longer and probably has more experience. So yeah, they deserve gold more than Tayo at this point. Now, the other theory that I had is that those missions that Kiricho abandoned, Tayo could actually be taking them up along with other gold members in order to kind of gather information about where Kiricho has actually gone, because they might hold clues to that. Now, who would team up with him? Like Futaba, Shinzo, and possibly Ri as well, because we haven't seen Ri in a while, not since she actually brought Ai to the Yozakura family full and say we haven't seen her since that chapter. So, and Ri has to be gold. She has to be at least one of the gold members, because it's stated that there was at least 50 gold spies out there. So yeah, she has to be one of those spies. But that's all we can speculate on this point. Either Tayo's going to take the gold exam, or he's going to complete those missions for Kiricho, or the president's just going to straight up tell him where Kiricho is. Now, if he does go for the gold rank, I want it to be like the most hardest one. Like, it have layers upon layers upon layers of, okay, this is what it means to be like a gold rank spy. Like, actually make these missions so difficult that Tayo will probably fail them the first time and he will have to retake them. Like, I could see that completely happening. But that's just my theory, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first review of Mission Yozakura Family. I know I certainly did, because of what I was talking about in this chapter. like I said, not really much happened in this chapter, but I hope I gave you a great video to talk about and leave comments on. But anyway, guys, what did you think of the chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.